You're listening to Cool FM. Cool FM is a TVH Group of Networks radio station. Tondo's greatest hits are here. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News Primetime.
Good evening, and welcome to Cool News Prime Time. Today is July 19, 2024, and the headlines that we will that we will be sharing you for an hour until 10 o'clock. All right, now let's get into the first set of headlines right now. All right, so now let's get into the where is it? Inquirer. All right, so top headlines. All right, so okay, test. Am I being heard here? Okay, we are experiencing some delayed audio here, but we'll just get it fixed real quick. Hang on. Okay, test. Okay, we're good. Okay, now let's get into the headlines real quick. Let me just double check. Yep, it looks all good here. Yeah, it looks all good. All right. Okay then, so now let's get into the just making sure because we can go wrong here, making sure. Oh, I see it's the yeah, that's really weird. Okay. All right, so first headlines for tonight. Microsoft outage hits some Philippine banks. So yes, we are aware that there has been a lot of global IT outage that started earlier this afternoon. So the global Microsoft. Wait a minute. Okay. We are good, I guess. Okay. All right. So the global Microsoft outage has paralyzed several industries using its software, with some Philippine banks confirming their systems are also affected. In separate advisories on Friday afternoon, Bank of the Philippine Islands, BPI, Metropolitan Bank, and Trustco, Metrobank, and Union Bank of the Philippines said they were trying to fully restore their service. According to BPI, certain operations in its branches were hit by the Microsoft outage, causing longer wait times. We may also experience delays in crediting of financial transactions, including bills payment and interbank fund transfers, as other institutions are likewise affected, the Alaya Bank said. BPI also clarified, however, that its ATMs, acceptance machines, online and mobile banking services were still available. Meanwhile, Apotic-led Union Bank said its customer care hotline and online credit card transactions were temporarily unavailable. In the meantime, please use the Union Bank online app or website or any of our ATMs nationwide for continued access to your accounts and essential bank services. It said. Metro Bank also advised its customers of a possible slowdown in the services, particularly for online transactions. BDO Union Bank Incorporated also confirmed it was experiencing technical difficulties, resulting in longer wait times at its branches and delays in its digital channels. Our team is intelligently working with Microsoft to resolve this issue, the Life Family-led bank said in advisory to its clients. In its customer advisory, Philippine National Bank assured their clients that their technical team is on standby to ensure affected channels are back to normal once the outage is fixed. However, in a statement sent to Inquirer, Corp said it was not vulnerable to the ongoing outage as it did not use CrowdStrike's software. Continuing our coverage on the continuing on our coverage on ID IT global outage, it also has affected the system of budget carrier Cebu Pacific and AirAsia, but the operations of international carriers in the Philippines remain unaffected as of 4 p.m. on Friday, according to the statement issued by the Manila International Airport Authority. Cebu Pacific itself confirmed the situation, saying it was experiencing technical issues reportedly related to technology provider CrowdStrike, which caused a global Microsoft system outage. The technical issue requires us to handle affected processes manually, potentially causing delays, the Go Gongwei led airline said in a statement posted on X, adding that it was working to mitigate disruptions in its operations. In response, the MIAA said it had sent additional personnel to the check-in staff of Cebu Pacific and AirAsia. It will also provide malasakit kits to affected travelers. MIAA General Manager Eric Jose Innes also directed all terminal passengers to closely monitor developments and offer necessary assistance as required. The MIAA Medical Division also went on high alert to respond promptly to emergencies. MIAA advised passengers to contact their respective airline companies for updates and assistance. Meanwhile, Flight Courier Philippine Airlines said its system was not affected by the outage. The outage has caused widespread disruption worldwide, grounding flights, derailing television broadcasts, and impacting telecommunications. Major U.S. air carriers, including Delta, United, and American Airlines, grounded all flights on Friday due to communication issues, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Flights were also suspended at Berlin Brandenburg Airport in Germany due to a technical problem, causing cancellations and delays. Airports in Spain and Hong Kong reported disruptions linked to the Microsoft outage. In Australia, the UK's biggest rail operator warned of possible train cancellations due to IT issues with large queues forming at Sydney Airport. Australia's National Cybersecurity Coordinator attributed the large-scale technical outage to the third-party software platform, and there was no evidence of hacker involvement. The UK Sky News and Australian broadcaster ABC experienced significant disruptions, and Australian supermarket chains face issues with self-checkout terminals. New Zealand reported problems with banks and parliamentary computer systems. Microsoft stated it was taking mitigation actions in response to the service issues, and the cybersecurity company CrowdStrike could not immediately reach for comment. Experts noted the problem might be linked to CrowdStrike's Falcon, an endpoint detection and response platform. The global impact of the outages was likely to be enormous, according to cybersecurity researchers. There is no evidence that a global IT outage affecting airlines, banks, media, and other businesses was caused by a cyber attack, France's cybersecurity agency said Friday. The teams are fully mobilized to identify and support the affected entities in France and to understand the origin of this outage, the National Cybersecurity Agency said. There is no evidence to suggest that this outage is the result of a cyber attack, it added. In Germany, flights were gradually resuming at Berlin Brandenburg Airport on Friday after being suspended due to a global IT outage, a spokeswoman told AFP. Departures are taking place, the spokeswoman said, adding, however, that there may be longer waiting times as everything now has to be gradually ramped up again. Now let's get into the regular headlines now. Portions of the Epifanio de Los Santos Avenue, Santolan, Flyover Northbound lane by lane in Casa City will be partially closed for 2 weekends. In a social media post, the Department of Public Works and Highways, National Capital Region TVH-NCR said overlaying of asphalt will start 11 p.m. Friday until 5 a.m. on July 22 and 11 p.m. on July 26 until 5 a.m. on July 29. All repair activities will be conducted during nighttime to prevent traffic congestion. The DPWH said the removal of existing asphalt pavement by roto-milling or pulverizing existing asphalt shall be done first, lane by lane, until the foot width of the pavement is complete. Asphalt overlay will follow. Meanwhile, the DPWH Metropolitan 2nd District Engineering Office will conduct road repairs along ESA Southbound lane in Makati City starting 10 p.m. Friday until 5 a.m. Saturday and from 10 p.m. on July 26 until 5 a.m. on July 28. Motorists are advised to use alternative routes or adjacent lanes. Senate President Francis Chis Escudero on Friday took a jab at several government agencies, saying that the investigations on illegal POGOs showed their negligence. In the press conference, Escudero mentioned government agencies that are responsible for granting working permits and assessing the identities of the Chinese citizens involved in POGO activities. Itong mga investigasyon sa POGO, pinapakita ang kapapakan ng ahensya ng mahalan. Panggunahin na dyan, nabanggit ko nung kalaraan, ang Philippine Statistics Authority, paano na nga ba nakakapag-produce ng birth certificates na hindi naman pala totoo ang nakalagay doon, Escudero said. He expressed that the fake birth certificate schemes should be stopped, highlighting the document's importance in securing government identification cards. Tikyangkin na may second balance tayo sa PSA. Sa panahon ng AI, walang dahil para hindi nila matudon at mapigilan ang pepeke sa loob ng ang ahensya nila mismo, he noted. Senators on Tuesday called on concerned state agencies to probe the reports of 1,200 Chinese who allegedly obtained Filipino citizenships by securing fake birth certificates. Suspended Babam Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo was believed to have allegedly acquired her Filipino citizenship illegally through late registration of her birth certificate. Escudero also mentioned the instances of Chinese nationals who have been illegal aliens in the country. Pagkalawa ay ang Bureau of Immigration and Deportation. Bakit? Sa rami ng illegal na pogo na narrate, karamihan ng mga nahuhuling Chinese nationals na nandun ay illegal aliens na. Pumasok bilang mga turista, walang hawak na work permit. Kung meron may ay expired na. Bakit walang sila alam ko, or ginagawa gupnay nito, he said. Deputy Majority Leader and ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tufo filed House Resolution number 1771 that seeks to prompt the possible abuse of the two programs offered to foreign nationals, namely the Special Resident Retiree Visa and the Special Investors Resident Visa. Tufo received reports that foreign nationals, most of them Chinese, were using the SRRV despite being age 35 to 50 to stay in the country and eventually work for Pogos even though they were ordinary employees. Lastly, Escudero noted the disjoint between the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Bureau of Immigration. Lahat ng i-issue nilang visa sa ibang konsultado sa ibang parte ng bansa, kabilang na ang China ay puro tourist visa. Bagaman ang intensyon ay magtrabaho dito at ang ginagawa ay mag-convert na lang ng visa dito sa mapapagkitan ng BID, Escudero said. Escudero also shared that there is no information sharing between the DFA and BID on the number of visas they have issued. He also questioned the accuracy of data on issued tourist visas submitted to the Department of Tourism. Dapat ba natin hiwalay yung tourist arrivals na binibilang natin at yung magtatrabaho na convert na working visa para mas accurate, para naman mas tama, mas angkop ang datos at pagpaplano natin? According to the Department of Foreign Affairs, the submission of blatantly fake documents by visa applicants is the number one problem of Philippine consular officers in China. It is now 19 minutes after 9 and koolNews Primetime will return after these messages. Oh yeah, yes. Anyways, welcome back to Cool News Early Edition. So before we continue with Cool News broadcast, um, we we sincerely apologize for some inconvenience to those who are in Discord chat that are that are not able to hear the audio. So we apologize for once again on behalf of Cool FM. We apologize for that. All right, now let's continue with the headlines. Okay, so let's just get over here. The local government of Manila said on Friday that it is doing the its part to keep citizens and tourists in the safety safe. According to the Manila Public Information Office, its authorities such as the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office and its police department are functioning as they should. The city of Manila is doing its part to reduce risk within its borders, not just for high net worth tourists, but for everyone in the city, especially resident Malinos. We asked the national government, agencies, and stakeholders to make all of Metro Manila a livable and safe metropolis, the BIO said in a statement. The BIO issued this statement after a recently published Forbes Advisory report saying that Manila was the fifth riskiest city in the world out of 60 countries. Manila also had a score of 91.49 out of 100, where a lower score indicates a safer city, while a higher score indicates a riskier city. The city of Manila also has a modestly robust DRMO able to respond to disasters. Our RMO is capable of responding to all kinds of disasters, the PIO continued. The Manila Police District is quite mindful of its mission to keep everyone safe in the city, and they have performed well. But but we keep reminding them that there is always room for improvement, and they should outpace and stay ahead of the criminals and after. And now we have some breaking news or announcement. So Gio, go ahead.
Yes, we will end Cool News Prime Time at 9:45 p.m. due to the episode of My Tulugan with Master Geo starting earlier than expected. Thank you.
There you go. That was the announcement from Geometric Tomato. All right, now let's continue. Former Senator Laila de Lima announced on Friday that she will not seek any public office in the 2024 elections. In an interview with Teleradio, she said that she is firm with her decision despite others encouraging her to run for a seat in the Senate again. Maraming pa po ako priorities. Maraming pa po akong ina si kaso sa buhay ko. Tumutulong po ako sa mga advokasya. Tumutulong po ako sa partido, sa Liberal Party at sa kanyang sectoral wing na mamayang liberal, she said. Before Dilima announced her plans for the 2025 elections, Senator Risa Hontiveros and Senate President Francis Escudero both hope that she will run again as senator. The former senator sought re-election in the 2022 national elections but failed to secure a seat. Following the recent 2025 Senate survey of Octa Research, De Lima, spokesperson of the Liberal Party, said that the party's opposition bets still have an uphill battle in the upcoming midterm elections. It's really frustrating now. We are offering really very qualified candidates. We are offering competent ones, truly intelligent, hardworking, with good track record, and the character, the integrity is intact. But medyo uphill pa ang laban, at least based on the surveys, she added. Furthermore, De Lima said there is still no final announcement of the official slate of the opposition for the general elections. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, MMDA, is eyeing the full repair and operations of the damaged Malabon-Navotas River Navigational Gate by next month, said MMDA Acting Chairman Don Artes on Friday. The floodgate was damaged last June after a bar gate forcibly passed through the channel, resulting in flooding in some areas. In a press conference, Artes said that the Department of Public Works and Highways will complete the dredging activity of the river in the portion of the navigational gate on August 2. It will be followed by the fabrication and installation of the necessary piece for the repairs and, from August 3 to 16 and resumption to full operations the following day. The repairs will be done while the navigational gate is in an open position and during low tide so that flooding will be minimized, said Artes. He noted that this timeline might still change depending on weather conditions. Weather conditions and water current are factors in the immediate repair of the gate. We are keeping our fingers crossed that there will be no weather disturbance or unusual current while repairs are ongoing, Artes said. Navotas Representative Toby Tayanko, who was also present at the press conference, said a 299 million peso budget has been allotted for the rehabilitation of the navigational gate. An association of private schools said it will be ready to assist the Department of Education DepEd as Foreign Senator John Edgardo Sonny Angara assumed the Education Secretary post on Friday. According to the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations, or COCOP, various challenges in the country's education need to be addressed. The Philippine education system faces complex challenges, including access to quality education, public-private complementary, technological integration, and improving educational infrastructure. These issues require our immediate attention and collective response, the COCOP said in a letter released on its Facebook page on Friday. It added that it will work with the DepEd on resolving those challenges. Under your leadership, we are excited to engage in constructive dialogue with the Department of Education. We are ready to share our collective expertise and resources as we work together in the spirit of an all-of-society approach, COCOP and RRPIA. Angara was one of the recommendations that the COCOPIA made in a letter that they sent to the Office of the President on July 1. He succeeded Vice President Sara Duterte, who tendered her resignation as Education Secretary last June 19. And now for international headlines, two oil tankers caught fire off the coast of Singapore and Malaysia on Friday, but all crew have been accounted for, authorities from both countries said, with the Malaysian side describing the incident as a collation. The blaze broke out on board Singapore-flagged tanker of Nia Nil and another vessel about 55 kilometers or 34 miles northeast of Petra Blanca, according to Singapore's Maritime and Port Authority. Neighboring Malaysia's Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMA, referred to the incident as a collation and said it also sent rescue teams to the area. Singapore's MPA said in an update that the Nia Nil had 22 crew on board and the other vessel, the Ceres 1, had 40. All crew are accounted for, it said. Our Republic of Singapore Navy frigate, the RSS Supreme, picked up 16 crew from the Hafnia Nil. 6 crew from Hafnia Nil who evacuated the ship on the lifeboat were picked up by a Malaysian government vessel and transferred to the RSS Supreme, MPA said, adding that they were all receiving medical attention while on the way to shore. A Singapore flag supply vessel that was in the vicinity picked up 14 crew from the Ceres 1, of whom 2 were lifted by a Singapore Air Force helicopter to the hospital, according to the MPA. The remaining 26 crew of the Ceres 1 are currently fighting the fire on board the tanker, the MPA said. Navigational traffic is not affected, it added. Singapore is the world's biggest refueling port. Photos from the Singapore Navy and the MMEA show thick black smoke from the ships. Malaysia's Department of Environment has been notified for further action in case of an oil spill, the MMEA said. Excuse me. Now for the business headlines. The local stock market ended the last trading day of the week at slightly below the 6,800 level, while the peso closed almost unchanged. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index closed at 6,791.69, up by 86.68 points. Again, excuse me. While the broader all shares also rose 24.97 points to 3,627.83. Philippine shares wrapped up the week just a few points shy of the elusive 6,800 marker. Across the region, investors are eyeing key earnings reports from American Express, Travelers, Comerica, and Fifth Third on Friday. Regina, a Capital Development Corporation Managing Director Louis Lingan said. Politically, Donald Trump is intensifying his campaign as the Republican National Convention ends, while President Joe Biden faces pressure from Democrats to withdraw from the race. He added. Lingan said that locally, Marco sentiment was driven by a stronger peso and optimistic economic prospects. The ADB's Asian Development Bank forecast of strong economic growth for the Philippines and Vietnam in 2024 and 2025 further boosted investor confidence, he said. Except for mining and oil, which declined by 106.02 points, all sectors closed in the green, led by financials, which went up by 51.74 points. Gainers outnumbered losers at 96 to 75, leaving 65 unchanged. The peso, meanwhile, slightly depreciated, closing at 58.335 against the dollar on Friday from the 58.25 finish on Thursday. It opened the day at 58.355 and traded between 58.295 to 58.415, bringing the weight average to 58.348. Foreign exchange volume declined to 979.27 million US dollars from 1.1 billion US dollars during the previous trading. Now back to the national headlines, or I should say tech. The amount of blocked SMS or short messaging service or text messages decreased by almost half in the first half of 2024 compared to the same period in 2023, Globe Telecom Incorporated Globe reported Friday. In a statement, Globe said a total of 2,740,012 bank-related scams and scam messages were blocked from January to June 2024 through anti-fraud measures and collaborations with major financial institutions. The figure is 43.56% less than the 4,855,199 messages blocked in the same period last year. This underscores the effectiveness of Globe's proactive strategies and robust partnerships with the country's major banks and financial institutions, it said. The reduction in scam messages, it said, came up to the company's anti-fraud agreements with the Bankers Association of the Philippines, encompassing 45 major banks and various persons in the finance sector. These collaborations have enabled vigorous and timely data and intelligence sharing, aligning efforts to prevent and investigate fraud more effectively, it said. Meanwhile, Smart Communications blacklisted at least 615,788 mobile numbers tied to illicit and fraudulent activities, including spamming and smashing scams in the first 6 months of this year. The numbers include fraudulently registered subscriber identity module SIM cards purged through Smart's validation process of all registrations. Globe operates a 24/7 security operations center that filters out unwanted messages, including person and person-to-person SMS from international and domestic sources. Globe has allocated approximately $20 million to enhance its spam and scam DDoS I'm sorry, its spam and scam SMS detection and blocking systems to prevent fraudulent messages from reaching consumers itself. It called on mobile users to remain vigilant against emerging scams, especially those that evade cellular networks and are instead using chat apps and fake cell towers that can send messages without having to go through their networks. Republic Act number 11934, or the SIM Registration Act, that mandates the registration of newly bought SIM cards before activation, was signed in October 2022. Public telecommunications companies are likewise required to submit a verified list of their their authorized dealers and agents nationwide to the National Telecommunications Commission to be updated quarterly. For the next 11 months or until September 2023, the NTC still received more than 45,000 complaints on tax scams. And finally, in entertainment showbiz news, okay, for some reason, it doesn't want to load. Let me just bring that up right now. Okay, give me a second. Maybe let us vote uh vote fans wait for it. And celebrity select after he shared his newly BMW car, which is already his second luxury vehicle. The 23-year-old actor gave a glimpse of his car from where he brought it, and after it was customized as seen on his Instagram page on Wednesday, July 17. It all starts with a dream, he said in the caption. Among those who complimented Legaspi's vehicle via the comment sections were fellow actors Aiko Melendez, Dominic Ochoa, Kate Abad, Noko Racino, and E.A. Guzman. So happy for you, Inanak. You deserve it. Mabik kang batang kaya bless ka. Melendez said. And that will be it for Cool News Primetime. Oh, hang on. Go. Alright, with that will be it for Cool News Primetime. As always, if you have any news tip or feedback to us that you want to send, you can email it to tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines. I'm sorry, we will be back tomorrow with Cool News edition Port of Filipinas at 7 p.m. And coming up next is Noise Mobile with the next video. Good luck.